I'm alive. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being late. I was just rendering some videos and it just took so much time that I just realized that it was 9:06 for me. So it's like 6 minutes late. Holy shit. I have to start this stream. But hello. Hi. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, hi, I'm FEARSONA. You can call me Sona, and I'm your friendly neighborhood true crime VTuber here to give you full body chills and myself some like heart palpitations because I was so stressed that I was so late. I'm so sorry. I can't catch a break this week. You guys, I'm still battling that bad cold. I'm still like, I probably sound like I have a noodle up my nose. I don't know. But I'm still battling that cold. And now my tooth fucking hurts. So not only am I recovering from a surgery, I'm battling a cold. And then now my tooth hurts. So I have to go to the dentist. And I don't know, survive in the chair not breathing because I can't breathe through my nose. So this is great. Why is everyone I know getting sick? I think I don't know. See, like I want to say, oh, it's the cold season, you know, like, oh, it's the flu season. It's not. It's not, because it's not even like winter. It's not even autumn. Like, what is going on? What is happening? I just caught it. I probably caught it at the hospital because I was at the hospital so much these past few weeks that I believe that I caught it just from someone at the hospital, most likely. That's why I hate going to the hospital, because it's guaranteed that I'm gonna get sick afterwards. Sounds like we need a dentist. Get the needles, Jesus Christ. I hate going to the dentist. I hate it. But I have to, because my tooth has been like aching for the past few days. I thought it was okay. Previously it was hurting me a little bit, but then it stopped. I don't know what does my tooth want? It was hurting me. Like I felt it. Like it was painful at the beginning, like a few weeks ago. It was painful for a few days. Then it completely stopped and it was fine without anything. It just stopped for a few weeks, for like a week or two. And now it's back. So I'm like, oh, what is going on? What do you want? What do you want from me? But yeah, hello. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to tune in and listen to this stream. Without further ado, I just wanna jump into this case, and whatever other things we have, I'm just gonna discuss it at the end. So stay till the end. We have some announcements. Let's talk about Kaitlyn Siragusa, better known to the internet. Also, Joshua, thank you so much for the super. What time is it? 2:30. Cricket noise, Jesus Christ. But yeah, let's talk about Kaitlyn. She is better known to the internet as Amaranth. You guys probably know her, right? She is known as Amaranth. If you spent more than 5 minutes on Twitch in the last decade, chances are that you've at least heard the name. She's controversial, wildly successful, and at times a lightning rod for the internet's collective outrage. But in March 2022, so just last month, her life took a very disturbing turn, one that would leave even her harshest critics concerned. March 2nd, 2025, Amaranth posted something chilling to her account on X, or Twitter, the site formerly known as Twitter. I will always just call it Twitter, you know. This is ridiculous. Like, I can't, like, I say X and I don't know what I'm talking. What the hell am I talking about? If I say Twitter, right? Twitter. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. X, I have no idea what I'm talking about. But yes, she posted to Twitter, and it was like people were immediately concerned because it was just a few words, but enough to send shockwaves through the internet. So this is what she posted on March. Well, for me, it's March 3rd, but for you guys, it would be March 2nd, 2025. I'm being robbed at gunpoint. I don't know, like, I guess she just misspelled certain things. Also, Ketsuya, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Congratulations to everyone who got the membership. And please say thank you to Ketsuya. Okay, so she posted, I'm being robbed at gunpoint. And then the second tweet, she says, I believe I shot one of them. They wanted crypto is what they were yelling. They pulled me out of bed. Terrifying. People were like, what is going on? Why are you tweeting? Middle of the night, she's tweeting this. Is this real? Is this just a prank? Like, you know, like she's known for doing certain things that later turn out to be like not exactly real, but okay. So people are confused, you know, like she's like, everyone was just like, is this real? Are you okay? Oh my God. In the moments that followed, she shared even more. According to her account, like as she was sharing more and more, according to her account, intruders had burst into her home while she was in bed, and they weren't just there to scare her, obviously. They came armed. They were violent and with a very specific demand. They were after her cryptocurrency. And I do have that video. I have a video from her surveillance cameras. So we're going to be looking at certain clips. This is the first clip. Why is it not playing? Oh my God. The scuff is always scuffing, as always, because why? Why not? Why should I have one stream that is completely smooth? No, it's not possible. Okay, let's look at it again. Wait, let me just kind of like try to make sure that it's gonna play, because of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. Okay, I think it's gonna be good. Okay, now. Oh, you heard sound. You heard sound. Yeah, like, great. You heard sound, but then you didn't hear anything else. Okay, let me play the clip again. Something's playing. Is it playing? Is it not playing? What? Why? Ah! I hate this. I hate this so much. I hate it so much. Oh my God. Why is it not playing? Why? Like, it's playing. It's the sound is playing, but then like, oh, that's why. Jesus Christ. Why? Why am I like this? You guys, forgive me. I can't. That's my life. Okay. I think now it's gonna play. Don't leave. Can hear voices, but it felt more like one of those ghosts. Okay. Now it should be fine. It should be fine. I think. But then I can't hear it. Why am I not hearing it?
Go now, hurry up.
Oh, okay.
Hurry. Go, keep going, hurry. Please hurry. It's in the pool. It's not in the pool. Stop playing. No, it's across the way. Stop playing. It's across the way. Go.
I know why it sounded ghostly, because I set it to 70% speed of the video. Of course I did. Because of course I did. Okay, back to the case. So this is the first clip, but as she described, they screamed at her about cryptocurrency as they dragged her from her bed, and one of them, at least one, hit her in the face with the butt of a pistol. Like, people, when she was tweeting about it, when we saw the tweets, everyone was just like, oh, is this even real? Like, where's the evidence? Like, you can tweet whatever the fuck you want, but where is the evidence? So she posted another clip, and in this clip, she gets hit with a gun.
It's not in the pool. Stop playing. No, it's across the way. Stop playing. It's across the way. Go. Okay.
No, sorry. Well, I guess her hair is pulled.
Hey, yeah, the camera is here. I'm taking the phone.
Okay, so actually her hair was pulled. I mixed it up. Yeah, so she doesn't get hit in with a gun in the video, but she does get, like, it does look pretty violent. Like, one of the robbers just pulls her hair. I don't know, like, what else, but yeah, like, it looks pretty serious, right? But before we get further into the events of March 2nd, we need to understand who Amaranth is and why exactly did she become a target. So Kaitlyn didn't start out as a controversial figure. Back in 2016, she was just another hopeful creator on Twitch, trying to find her niche. And initially, she leaned into cosplay mostly. And not just any cosplay, we are talking about elaborate, often provocative outfits that turned heads and definitely earned her followers, to the point where I have to, blur it out because YouTube is gonna ban it, right? But her real notoriety began with something the Twitch community called the hot tub meta. Now, if you're not familiar with Twitch, and with Twitch culture, this might sound a little bit bizarre, but Twitch originally was a space where gamers live streamed, themselves playing video games. But around the early, I would say 2020s, a different kind of content started gaining traction. And creators, mostly women, streaming live from hot tubs while wearing swimsuits, casually chatting with viewers. So this is exactly what Amaranth did. Some of those creators, some of the people, also like creators and people who watched it, saw it as harmless fun. Others, they claimed it was just like a clever workaround of Twitch's rules to get away with being too sexy for the platform, right? Like being sexual. Whether you loved it or hated it, one thing was definitely clear. Amaranth was the face of this new wave. Like, she was the queen of hot tub streams. And she didn't just ride the hot tub meta, she owned it. And the backlash she got was like enormous, it was gigantic. She wore it like a crown, like she didn't really care about the backlash. She was like, you know what, I'm gonna cash it. I'm gonna just thrive on it. And as the years rolled on, Kaitlyn built an empire. Like, she has like 6 million viewers, 6 million followers on Twitch, or over 6 million followers on Twitch. She created content across multiple platforms. This is not just Twitch. She is on Kick, she is on Twitch. I think she posts videos to YouTube, and obviously on Twitter, often pushing boundaries in ways that made headlines. At one point, she even released like an AI chatbot, which is a virtual version of herself that fans could interact with. And the AI wasn't just some side project either. She claimed it made $34,000 on its first day. I mean, that's not a typo. That's $34,000 on the first day. It's crazy. Of course she's on Kick. She got to deal with Kick. She got to deal with YouTube. Well, not YouTube, Twitch. She's gonna bank it. She's gonna cash it. She's gonna milk it as much as possible, right? And yeah, like when AI came in, when ChatGPT came in, I mean, yeah, either her or her team were smart enough to get on that and create this like smart AI chatbot that basically people were chatting with her. And those were not PG chats. They were definitely not for kids. So just so you know that much. Yeah, $34,000 on the first day. I mean, that's what she claimed. I don't know if it's true, but that is her claim. She also ventured into other forms of income. I mean, when OnlyFans got big, that she was on it, and she created an OnlyFans account that reportedly brought in 7 figures, various brand deals and business ventures, and perhaps the most eyebrow raising of all, a screenshot that she shared in 2024. This is the screenshot where she is casually revealing $20 million worth of Bitcoin. 20 million in Bitcoin in her digital wallet, and she is just sharing it casually on Twitter. Is that a good idea? I don't think so, but she did, and you know what? Like, people were just crazy about it. If the video is buffering, refresh your browser. I think it's YouTube being stupid. Amaranth had become more than a Twitch streamer. She was a brand, she was a business, a phenomenon, and because of this, she also became a target. It was late, sometime during the night of March 2nd, 2025. Amaranth was inside her Houston home which is a sprawling property made up of two separate buildings. She thought that she was alone, but she actually wasn't, and neither were the three armed men who had just broken in. This is actually the clip from the break-in. Yeah, doggos are here, but also doggos failed. Doggos failed at protecting the property. This is like, the dogs are just like, oh, who are these new friends? This is great. No, the three men are just three of them. There were no robbers, like no other robbers. It was just three guys. Yeah, but you know, they broke in. I love how they're tripping over the different stuff, and I love how the dogs are just like, oh, who are you? Who are you guys? New friends? Great, let's play. Dogs failed. Dogs absolutely failed at protecting the house, the home. So the three robbers got into her house, and their plan seemed simple: get in, scare Amaranth, take what they came for, and disappear. But what they didn't know was that they weren't the only ones listening in that night. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like, this whole situation played out like an action movie, like an action film. It just spiraled so quickly that, yeah, like everyone was just like, what the fuck? Also, Carolyn, thank you so much for the super golden rule on the internet: never reveal your information of any kind, especially your income. Exactly. I mean, especially the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, whatever, right? Like Bitcoin wallet. Jeez, who does this? I mean, I know that she wanted to flex, but don't do that. Also, Dorothy, thank you so much for the super. Doggo failed the one job, but we forgive, because all doggos are cute doggos, are good doggos. Yeah, exactly. Or doggos are good boys, but but still, there's just like, please at least react to, you know, strangers in the house. At least start barking. And the doggos were just like, no, new friends. That's it. Okay, so as I said, the robbers weren't actually the only ones listening in that night, because unbeknownst to the intruders, Kaitlyn's husband, Nick Lee, who was revealed later, but Nick was just a few yards away. He was in the second building on the property, and he was in the bathroom talking, he was just like talking to Amaranth on the phone, because she was in the main building and he was in that second building, right? And they were talking on the phone. When he actually heard it, he heard the strangers, the intruders, and he heard the sound of gunfire. According to the couple, the man blasted her door open. So that's how he heard the gunfire, because they blasted the door. And then there was silence on his end. What Nick heard next was something no one ever wants to hear coming through a phone speaker: the sound of his wife being struck, like she was being beaten up by these guys. And one of the men had a pistol whipped her, right? Like we saw it in the clip, that she was, you know, they pulled her hair, they were pretty rough with her, they were pretty violent, and the line stayed open. Like, she was holding her phone, and the intruders didn't know that her husband was on the line. But there was nothing really he could do at the time. He listened as the men shouted screamed their demands, right? Like, they were there and for the crypto, so they were shouting, where's the crypto? But here's the thing: cryptocurrency isn't really like, you know, like a stack of $100 bills or a safe full of gold bars. It's not something you can just point to and hand over to someone, right? Crypto exists in a digital space, stored in wallets, protected by long encrypted keys. And even if someone wanted to steal it, they would need access, passwords, and in some cases, biometric data. It's not as simple as grabbing a duffel bag and running out the door. You know, it's not that simple. And according to Kaitlyn, or Amouranth, she tried to explain that. She tried to explain them like, hey, I don't have it. It's not like I can access it right away. It's not that simple. And also you're not going to be able to access it yourself. But when you've got these 3 armed guys demanding something they barely understand themselves, like logic doesn't go very far. So they were not listening to her explanations. They were just like, where's the crypto? Where's the crypto? We're gonna shoot you if you don't give us the crypto, right? So why crypto? Well, because of the post. Again, they knew about the post that she posted a few months earlier, right? The post that sparked this, well, not shitstorm, but like sparked the excitement online, right? Like she posted she had like $20 million in Bitcoin. It was a flex, maybe an innocent one, maybe a strategic one, but to the wrong people it might have looked like an invitation. So yeah, it was dumb of her to post it. Maybe, yeah, like she wanted to flex. It was a huge flex, that's undeniable, but at the same time she kind of attracted the dumbest people who thought like, okay, well, the dumbest people with a very dangerous plan. And these men wanted fast, untraceable money, but what they didn't understand again about crypto is that crypto is anything but untraceable. Every transaction is logged, every move is recorded on the blockchain. Trying to steal it is like trying to run through a room full of motion detectors and hoping that no one is watching, like no one is gonna, like none of them are gonna register your movement, right? Like your moves. Of course it is. Of course it will. So yeah, they weren't really, I don't know, these 3 guys weren't really like the brightest bulb in a bunch. They weren't really criminal masterminds. They were just desperate, armed, and dangerously misinformed. And that was not great for Amaranth, because they weren't listening to logical explanation. They weren't really listening to any explanation. They were just screaming at her to give them crypto. And that's it. And they were armed. So that is a very dangerous situation if they don't want to listen to what you're actually telling them. Meanwhile, in the other building, Nick had to make an impossible decision. Stay silent and protect his position, or risk alerting the attackers by making noise, by going to them. Like he had to choose, like, hey, do I wait and plan it out in a smart way and risk, Kaitlyn getting hurt? Or do I come out, do I make myself known and risk us both getting hurt, like her getting hurt even more, and who knows what else, like maybe they're gonna shoot her on the spot. Right now they really need her, so yes, they are hitting her, but there's a plan, like we can still make it work. So he chose to stay quiet, listening, waiting, hoping it wasn't already too late. What happened next would shift the entire narrative and was straight out of an action movie, as I said. It was pretty, I gotta say, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty, it was pretty smart what they did next. So Kaitlyn was bruised, like she was hurt, she was injured, her face was bleeding, because of how many times like they hit her, how many times she got struck with the pistol. And in that moment, she had a terrifying realization, like if she didn't give them something, if she didn't cooperate, they were going to keep hurting her and they might actually shoot her. So she made a decision. She decided to pretend to cooperate, and she told the men exactly what they wanted to hear. She was like, you know what, I'm gonna take you. No, okay, fine, I admit, I know where it is. I know where my crypto is. I'm going to take you to my cryptocurrency stash, even though it was a lie, because it's not possible, right? Like she's not giving them any crypto. She can't give them any crypto, but she was just like, okay, fine. I'm gonna, because I think they were thinking like, oh, it's on a USB and you can just like hand it over to us, right? So she's like, okay, fine. I'm going to lead you to where I have it. I don't have it in the main house. I'm gonna lead you to the separate building, to my streaming room, and that's where it is. Hint, hint. That is exactly where Nick was. So she was buying time. She was giving them a false sense of control, but what she was really doing, she was leading them into a trap.
It's not in the pool. Stop playing.
No, it's across the lake.
Stop playing.
It's across the lake.
Go.
Okay, we go.
Hey, she had a camera. I'm taking her phone.
Hurry up. Come on.
So she actually was very smart about that. She was prepared for this moment. After years of being stalked, harassed, and threatened, she had installed a panic room on her property, and it was in that other building. And as fate would have it, her husband, Nick, knew exactly where she was taking them, like he was there. And when she led the attackers towards the panic room, he was waiting, armed and ready. Apparently he was like wearing a bulletproof vest. He was just like in his underwear. He was wearing a bulletproof vest, and he had a gun himself. So Nick, you know, armed and ready, he intercepted the group just outside the fortified space. Like as she was leading them there, as she led them there, he came out, and according to his account, he signaled to Amaranth like silently. The moment she passed by and she saw him, he signaled to her to get down, and then without a warning, he opened fire at the intruders. And this is the last clip.
It's in here.
Come on. Go, 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 go. Okay, open the gate, open the gate, open the gate. Okay, open the gate, open the gate, open the gate.
So I'm gonna say this right now, dogs absolutely failed, because all of this is happening, everyone is running around, the strangers are running around, the dogs are just like, yeah, we're running now, we're not attacking, why would we attack? Like, oh, this is a game, let's run. What a failure. Still good doggos. I still, you know, think that every dog is a good dog, but god damn it, dogs. Okay, so the three guys bolted out of there, one of them screaming that he got shot, right? Like, I got shot. And you would think that while this is happening, Amaranth and Nick are calling the cops. Not exactly. Instead of calling the cops first, Nick was actually the one who logged into Amaranth's Twitter account, and he told the world what just happened, right? Like, he was actually the one tweeting, I'm being robbed at gunpoint. I believe I shot one of them. They wanted crypto is what they were yelling, and pulled me out of bed, right? Like, this is what actually Nick tweeted. It wasn't Amaranth. And exactly the kind of post that would ignite a firestorm online, and a little sus, if you ask me. Right? It was, I can see you guys in the chat saying like, hey, it was staged because it was staged. But, you know, was it staged? Let's look into it. Because later Houston police actually tweeted also on their account, on their official Twitter account. They confirmed that there had been a shooting at the property. They acknowledged that a weapon had been fired, but details were really, really scarce. No arrest had been made at that point when they tweeted. And it remained unclear whether any of the suspects had been hit or apprehended. But one thing was clear: Kaitlyn had been injured. She was taken to the hospital and treated for wounds to her scalp, likely from the pistol whipping that she'd endured during the attack. And as the... Yes, of course I would switch my screen. Of course I would... Oh my god, I'm such a failure. I'm sorry. So as the story spread, I apologize for any scuff glitches. This is just an integral part of my stream, you know? Just bear with it. Okay, so as the story spread, the internet did what it always does, and it divided. And I am very skeptical about this, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. I think you guys are thinking the same thing as I do. Also, Carolyn, thank you so much for the super. Judging the dogs' breeds, they look like they're meant to be for companionship rather for protection, like Dobermans, Rottweilers, and Pit Bulls. Yeah, one of them is like a golden retriever. The other one is, I believe it's a border collie from what I saw in the video. So yeah, those dogs are not exactly, but at least bark. At least bark, goddammit. You don't have to... You can be excited. The dog can be excited. Just bark. Just bark. And they were just like, no. No, new friends. Okay, so internet was absolutely divided. On one side, there were, you know, the supporters, fans who were absolutely horrified by what had happened, and they were amazed by Amaranth's courage. They were amazed by you know, her husband's like actions. They were just like, oh my god, he's a hero, he saved her, and this is incredible. I hope you guys are okay, you know, take care. But on the other hand, on the other side, there was a wave of skepticism, right? Like skeptics that rolled in, people who, quite frankly, like just as how I feel about this, like didn't really believe her. Well, I'm more skeptical, you know, I'm just more skeptical, but there were people who straight up didn't believe her. And why? Because Amaranth has spent years pushing boundaries in ways that make headlines. And we've seen it before, you know, huge creators manufacturing controversy for like different controversial actions or controversy for clicks, for drama, for donations, danger for relevance. So was any of it real? Or was it performance art in a digital age where shock equals currency, right? Because this is not the first time that something like this would happen for clicks. Now, if the details of this break-in weren't already wild enough, things were about to get even messier, because for some people watching this story unfold, the timing was just a little too convenient. Because Amaranth, like only days before the home invasion, Amaranth had found herself in some drama and some hot water. She was facing backlash for some controversial remarks that she'd made about the LGBTQ plus community in Los Angeles. I don't know what exactly those remarks were. I believe it was like during her live stream. I don't actually have that clip, but anyway, she made some remarks. She was facing some backlash. The internet was already swarming with criticism against her, and then suddenly, conveniently, boom, armed robbers, gunfire, chaotic tweet goes viral, and it wasn't just her controversy drawing attention. Around the same time, several high-profile female streamers on Twitch had come forward with disturbing accounts of being harassed or stalked by obsessive fans. And for example, like the incident involving 3 big female streamers, Valkyrie, Amouranth, and Cinna, where they were being stalked and had to cut their event stream short because of like the stalker that was kind of harassing them on like in this theme park or something. So when Kaitlyn's story dropped into the environment, like into that environment, it got instantly swept into broader narrative. You know, like people were kind of like, yeah, you know, I don't know if this is fake. Like, I think this is staged. I think something's going on. Like, I think that's not exactly real. Like, I think she's pretending, right? Or I think this was just staged. And Rogue Ranger says she cried wolf before. No need to believe her, even when Hera contacted Houston PD for the clarification, but details are wishy-washy. Yeah, like, I can see why. I can definitely see why people are just kind of skeptical about this whole situation. Because there's more. You know, there's more details that are just very sus to this whole situation. Okay, so as more details emerged, from police statements to hospital records, the home invasion started to look very real because it was covered by major news outlets. So it's not like it was pretend, like this actually happened. Police confirmed there was a shootout, there was a break-in at her property. It seems to be real, right? Like, unfortunately, the doubt surrounding it, that was real too. Still, there was one particular factor of the story, or like part of the story, that even her fans weren't really sure how to process. And that part was actually her husband, Nick. The same guy who fired the shots that sent the intruders running, the same guy who saved Amaranth during this home invasion, right? He is the hero. The same guy who was being called a hero online. The man who, in this version of the story, may have saved her life. But we have to rewind just 3 years, 2-3 years, and things, I guess 3 years, and things looked very, very different between them. Because back in 2022, during a now deleted live stream, Amaranth told her audience something shocking, that she was being abused by her husband. And she claimed that Nick Lee, her husband, who had remained mostly hidden from her brand up until that point, he was controlling her life behind the scenes. Like, that's what she told everyone. He's controlling her. She accused him of forcing her to do marathon streams, like lengthy marathon streams, that he dictated what she wore, how she dressed, how long she stayed online, even what content she made. And here's a video of that particular situation. This is what she shared online. Like, she actually, during a live stream, she called him, and we can hear Nick screaming at her on the phone, and just them having like a yelling match, and she was crying on stream. This is that clip.
Did you say you were gonna kill my dogs?
Leave the house.
Okay, I can leave the. You know what? Actually, I shouldn't leave the house because my dogs are here.
Well, take the dogs and leave. You're asking the question, I'm telling you, and you're interrupting my fucking, telling you. Literally.
What are you saying? You just told me you were gonna kill dogs if I didn't do a 24-hour stream.
Nope, did not say that. Now you're just fucking being a liar.
I'm not
I said I'm going to tell you what I said in terms of the earlier. You're saying you did not say that.
I tried to tell you what I heard from you. And then you called me a liar.
Then you tell me, what did you say?
What are you even talking about? You brought up the dogs out of nowhere.
Exactly.
So
Prove a point.
what point is there improving?
See? You're proving my point right now.
What? I'm asking you to... I don't even understand what you're saying to me.
I know. That's my point. My point is, are you listening or not? If you're not, then get the fuck out.
I'm literally listening, but you're not making any sense.
Well, no, you're not listening because it makes perfect sense. I'm gonna say it one more time. If you don't get it, I need you to get the fuck out.
Well, crocodile tears or not, like, this seemed, back then, right, 2022, it seemed very serious. Everyone was worried. That's the thing. Like, her community, everyone was shocked. Everyone was like freaking out, shocked at this stream, like during this stream and after, at the clips, right? And she was sharing more information, you know, like she actually showed messages between them, like threatening messages that, well, I mean, at least messages that appeared threatening. And she said that their husband, right, like her husband, Nick, he had control over everything. He had control over her accounts, her income, even her image. Like these are some of the messages. Massive dial fail. The fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of there. And next time when I say a plan, do it. Son fuck, dumb fuck. Do you understand? See, like these are the kind of messages that she shared. I'm about to dump your luggage. I'm throwing your stupid merch off the balcony, proceeding to ditch your stuff. You don't need the makeup or the life. You are the clothes guy. Yeah, so the messages were pretty, threatening. It was serious. Like everyone was worried about her back in 2022, and she was crying. She was, she was showing these clips of like him, yelling at her through the phone. Then later, when I guess like the dust settled, she also streamed saying like, oh, they split, like she's free from him, she gained control, like, oh, she has the control over her finances back, her accounts, she has her accounts back, she's not gonna do it anymore, like she's not gonna listen to him anymore, we are splitting, we are divorcing, this is abusive, right? Like everyone was happy for her at the time. Everyone was just like, yeah, like this is an abusive relationship. This is such an abusive situation from what you shared. It's crazy. Like, okay, yeah, leave him. Absolutely. Like gain, take back control, right? Everyone was happy for her that she split from him. And at the time, her husband didn't even respond publicly. No press statement, no video rebuttal. Like she is saying all those things about him. She is sharing the recording of his of him yelling, or like their phone call of him yelling at her, their messages, and he did not respond at the time, like nothing. Shortly after, Kaitlyn claimed that they had separated, that she was finally in charge of her own career, finally in charge of her finances and accounts. But interestingly, the content, right, like she was in that clip, she is she's crying and she is claiming that she doesn't want to do what he wants her to do, that he is the one dictating what content she produces and what she wears and everything, right? But after the situation, when they supposedly, allegedly split, her content didn't change at all. Like she just kept doing the same kinds of streams, the same provocative style. Nothing changed. That's interesting. Why didn't you change everything if you hated it so much? If this was dictated to you by your husband, and this is nothing of it you wanted to do, like, and you didn't want to do any of it, why is there no change after you're supposedly free, after you've supposedly gained back your control, right? Like control over your content. Nothing changed. So when asked about it, she said that switching up her whole business model would mean losing the team she had built, people who depended on her. I don't really believe that. It's not really a strong explanation for this situation, because like, if you've built a team, they are gonna stay as long as you're paying them. You call the shots. You can switch your content. I'm pretty sure you can adjust your team. I'm pretty sure your team can adapt. But no, she did not change anything. And then, right, like, because she's claiming that her and Nick divorced, like, oh, they separated. Not even divorced, like, they separated. But suddenly, Nick is back. And he is back holding a gun. He is back firing shots. He is back saving her life and then posting from her account that this is happening, playing the role of a protector. And audiences couldn't really help but ask, was any of it real? Was any of it even real? Right? And then there was this, this is the interview. So we have an interview between, the Caveman Gamer, and then, a Caveman Gamer posted it, but there's an interview with Amaranth and her husband. So I'm gonna play that video. Let me just pause the music and I'm gonna play the video of the interview.
Hey.
Can you see it now?
Hey.
Hello.
What's up, Amaranth's husband? Nice to meet you.
Hi, how's it going?
You're a real warrior. You're a good husband, man. You were brave that night. Good shit.
Everyone says that, but really, I credit her with saving both of our lives, because like, look, put myself in her shoes. I don't know if I'd be clear thinking enough to stay calm and to, you know, formulate a plan and to basically lead them to where, you know, someone might have a firearm or who can help, right? Because, like, you know, a lot of people make a big thing about how, oh, well, you know, she doesn't have scars or whatever. It's like, you know, they were pistol whipping her, and so she called me when it happened, and we can go into the story in a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I was actually on the phone with her when they shot the door twice and then kicked it in, right?
All right.
I heard all of that, and then I heard, you know, them walking up and then yelling their demands. And for a lot of that, I'm just hearing it on speakerphone, and I'm like, the structure over, right? And so that gave me just a...
Yeah. So, oh, that's Aiden Ross. I don't even know him, but I don't know his face, but I've heard the name. I don't know his face. Anyway, so that's what he said. You know, like they did like a whole interview with this guy. Oh, I guess, yeah, it is Aiden Ross. Never mind. It was like it was there right there in the video. I don't know. I don't watch this guy. Anyway, but yeah, you know, Nick is back. He is a hero. He is a protector. You know, like, oh, everything is good now because he saved Amaranth and they are clearly together. And most people are still trying to wrap their heads around the idea that a Twitch celebrity had just survived a gunpoint home invasion, but others were already picking the story apart. And the biggest question floating around was, why did it feel like the whole thing was being live tweeted? You know what I mean? Because if we go back, you know, two separate, like they basically, Amaranth posted as this was Nick posted on her account, but posted as this was happening, everything, like, oh, pictures of police, you know, everything was being posted in the heat of the moment, supposedly, where how the public first heard about, you know, how it happened. To some, it felt like a distress signal, but to critics, it seemed a little bit off. Like, this is what you do when you have a home invasion, when there's a home invasion, when there are robbers in your house threatening you with a gun, threatening your wife, because he was the one posting it. He's in the other building, but he's the one posting it. Meanwhile, his wife is being threatened and beaten with a gun. This is what you do first? You go to Twitter and you post about it? Like, it just seemed a little bit off. Like, why would someone under attack take the time to post about it? You know, that's very strange. Also, Darren says, honestly, if you were forced to investigate true crime and gained freedom, you wouldn't exactly drop the only thing you know. I guess so. Also, Carolyn, thank you so much, by the way. Thank you so much for the supa. The situation like this brings out the worst in anyone, apparently so. But yeah, I wouldn't drop it. I suppose I wouldn't drop it, but if I were crying to you, if I came to you one day, streamed, crying that I hate my content, I hate what I do, I'm being forced to do it, I'm being forced into this content, I don't want to do it, and suddenly I wouldn't, yeah, if I said like, oh, I gained back control, I'm in control of my finances, of my accounts, and I can do what I want, I don't think I would go back to doing the thing that I hate doing. You know, I don't. Yeah, that part was very, very sus. Okay, so they are tweeting about it, like live tweeting about the robbery as it's going on, and it's just very strange. Worse, just one day after the alleged break-in, Amaranth was live on stream again. Mind you, no bandages, no visible bruises, not even a stitch. Like, she's just back to streaming. She's just normal, and she posts stuff on Twitter. So she's back on Twitter. On top reply under her tweet said exactly that, like, show us a picture, and she didn't. Right, like that fueled suspicion because she's not really showing a picture from like hospital of her wound, like nothing. But she did post security footage, right, like the clips that we saw. And in this grainy video, which was very small, by the way, but the video was very grainy, which, I showed you already. You can see that Kaitlyn is sprinting toward the camera, like she is actually like facing the robbers. She is being, well, her hair is being pulled, right? Like several men following close behind. There are dogs, right? Like barking. Well, I mean, they're not barking, but there are dogs, they're kind of like circling around the situation, right? Like the people, and the group disappears off screen. And then when she goes to that second building, we don't actually see the shootout. We don't actually see the robber getting shot, right? We just hear the pops. We just hear the sharp cracks, right? Like the gunshot cracks, right? Like gunfire cracks through the night. And we don't actually see Nick. I guess maybe it's not the whole recording, perhaps. Like maybe this is just the clips, and the entire video was like submitted to the police, possibly. But we don't actually see anything. We don't actually see the robber getting shot. He's just screaming, I got shot, but we don't actually see it. And you can't really tell if they got shot. Even the photo that she shared of like her shattered door frame, which I'm gonna find, wait, let me just find it, because like I had it just here, but I forgot. Oh my god, yeah, like she's posting a lot. She posts a lot. Supposedly she did post, oh yeah, okay, I got it. So she posts this photo of the door frame that was allegedly shot through. This is the hole, right? The hole, the door, like shattered, supposedly shattered door frame and blown open by the robbers. And this got scrutinized too, because the bullet hole just looks too clean. It looks very smooth. It is very symmetrical. Like, was it from gunfire, or was it from a drill? This looks like a drill, by the way. And then there are like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about gunfire. I don't know much about guns. I don't know much about like bullet holes. Maybe it's possible that it's that clean, but yeah, supposedly this is a bullet hole. Supposedly. So everyone's like, is it really? That's it looks strangely like a drill hole. Like it's just too smooth. Like there's this other, like the doors were just yanked out of the frame or something. So okay, this is a little more believable, but the other one is just not. It's just like, this looks like a drill, right? Like everyone in the comments were just like, yeah, this kind of looks like a drill. This is like too smooth. This does not. Is that sawdust? Yeah, like I was just like, oh, this looks like sawdust. I need Dexter here. I need someone to get like, an expert on spatters. Because this like, oh, is it spatter from a bullet, from gunfire, or is it a spatter from a drill that goes kind of like circular motion? I don't know. I need an expert in spatters. Okay, so yes, there were a lot of replies. A lot of them were saying this seems staged. And many netizens quickly pointed out that it must be a setup, a clout chasing stunt to distract from past controversies. But eventually some clarifications came. So in that phone interview, like in the interview, Nick, her husband, explained that he was the one who made the tweets. Kaitlyn, according to him, wasn't really pulling out her phone between beatings, right? Like she just had it in her pocket or something. She was in survival mode. And he also said that he called the police before he ran across the property with a firearm. However, he didn't call the police immediately, right? Like he didn't call the police before the tweets. He didn't do it immediately, right? Like he tweeted first. He knew what was happening and then tweeted, and then later called the police before he was in a shootout with the robbers, right? And that was a risky move for them, which he explains further. He says that the couple's home isn't just a luxury residence, it's a target. So their explanation for this was that their residence is a target, especially for a certain kind of internet harassment known as swatting. That's when someone calls the police pretending that there's a crisis at someone's address. usually to get armed officers to storm the home. And Kaitlyn Amaranth claimed that it's happened to her so many times that now, before responding to a 911 call, Houston police will actually check her live stream first to make sure that this is an emergency, this is a real emergency, and she's not just streaming and this is not just swatting. That's what she said, like, oh, it happened to her so many times, the swatting situation, that now, like, oh, the police is also not responding to them, or there's a chance they won't believe her because the swatting happened so many times. Well, expert Baxter Black, what is your opinion? Okay, Baxter, as someone who has been shot at and a woodworker, I think I'm your expert. Oh, okay, Baxter, what do you think? What do you think about this gun hole or gunshot, supposedly gunfire hole? Is it a gunfire or is it just a drill hole? Like, what is that? What is going on? Yeah, sure, real convenient. I know. I mean, Baxter, by the way, I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope that you were okay and you didn't get shot. I hope that you didn't get wounded, but at the same time, can you share your expertise? Because I don't know much about gunfire. I don't know much about drills. I don't do woodwork. Yeah, if I tried, I would probably lose an arm. I would probably drill through my arm, so I don't want to attempt. But yeah, this is, you know, it just seems a little too smooth. It just seems a little too perfect, and also I need an expert on spatter. But yes, so Amaranth was saying like, oh, you know, police doesn't really believe me. If I call them, they think that it's swatting, another swatting incident. So they actually check my live stream first to see if I'm in actual danger or if this is another just like prank or swatting prank, right? When you've built your brand on spectacle, on provocation, is it possible to ever be taken seriously? Especially when the story is this extreme. Also, Baxter says, it looks like a drill was used. You can tell by the inside of the door, the interior that looks like it's made of particle board. Oh yeah, okay. And notice how that is curved. If it was a bullet, it would be burned. Oh, I wonder if this is, but what if this is exit hole? I mean, I guess it would be burned. I guess either way, it would be burned. Yeah, that's true. It's just so clean. It's just clean. It is a drill. I swear to God. Like, I personally think that this was done by a drill. I don't think this was a bullet. It's just too smooth, too perfect, no burns, nothing. We don't see the other side of the door, unfortunately. So, you know, there's that question, but yeah, it's a little too perfect. Okay, so nearly 2 weeks after the chaos unfolded at her Houston property, we actually got some answers. We actually got a development. Also, Bacon, thank you so much for the supa. I've put holes in wood before the wood I've shot. Wait, before. The wood I've shot wasn't this thick, but it was never this clean. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's exactly what people are saying, right? Like, oh, this is too clean. This is too suspicious. Like, this looks too suspicious. Okay, so nearly 2 weeks after the chaos unfolded, we have some answers. Authorities confirmed that several teenagers, yes, teenagers, had been apprehended in connection with the home invasion that left Twitch star Amaranth, bruised, bloodied, and fearing for her life. And the suspects were a group of young men between the ages of 16 and 19. Can you believe that? Teens. Again, very sus. And according to court records, 3 of them are now facing serious charges: aggravated robbery and aggravated kidnapping with a deadly weapon. That's crazy. So 2 of the teens remain in custody. Wait, let me play it. So they remain in custody and their bonds are set to $150,000 and $200,000. Not exactly spare change, but here's where the story takes another twist. One that could have come straight out of a true crime Netflix script. So Kaitlyn, these are the guys. I don't. So they are just teens, apparently. And this is making me kind of question, like, oh, were they possibly hired, where they hired, because that is, I don't know, it's everything together seems very like all too convenient, all too perfect, like perfectly played out, and just, yeah, I don't know, like there are signs that this was staged. Okay, so there's another plot twist. Kaitlyn, while Kaitlyn was still recovering, right, Amaranth was still recovering in the hospital, like from the ordeal, she actually posted a message to her Twitter account, and in it she revealed that the only item actually stolen during the home invasion was her MacBook, and the device had Find My Device feature turned on. Amaranth tracked it, and it led her to the exact same hospital where she had been taken for treatment just hours earlier. And this is what she said. She said, "There was a moment of total panic after I got out of the hospital the night of the incident, right? And I tracked the MacBook and was in disbelief that we were at the same hospital. I may have seen the one who was shot while I was being discharged." So she's in the same hospital. She's being treated at the same hospital as the robbers. But it's strange, like, why would her... I guess the police confiscated, like, if the police arrested the guy and transported him to the hospital for treatment because he was shot, one of the robbers, right? Okay, they probably brought whatever the guy stole to. So they have the MacBook. She adds that she may have seen the person who got shot, right? Like presumably one of the suspects as she was being discharged, as she was being treated and discharged. But in the fog of pain, fear, and just adrenaline, she thought something far darker was happening. Like maybe, you know, there's something more sinister, like I don't know, like, oh, something else was happening. Now, with arrests being made and charges filed, the facts are starting to line up. But in a case like this, one that's lived like half in real life, half on social media, there's always more beneath the surface, and there's always gonna be that doubt, because we live in a world where fame brings opportunity but also danger. When influencers are watched by millions, influencers like Amaranth, watched by literally by millions of people, but still, you know, they have to sleep with one eye open. And when something really, really terrible happens, the first instinct isn't always compassion, it's skepticism. So I understand, you know, considering her history, I do understand why people reacted the way they did. For Kaitlyn, for Amaranth, the story doesn't end with an arrest or a viral thread. It ends with the reminder that when your life is content, everything, even trauma, becomes pretty much part of the show. So there are always gonna be people who doubt you, and there's always gonna be people who are looking at everything that happens to you, all those shocking things that happen to you, and they're gonna kind of squint their eyes. I mean, I'm one of them. I'm squinting my eyes. I'm kind of looking at this and being like, I don't know. It just all seems too perfect. There are some sus factors in this story. The break-in was real. According to the police, the break-in was real. The shootout was real. The injuries were real. According to police, the fear was real. But whether or not the audience believed her, that's the part that she has to fight for. So maybe the real question isn't what happened on March 2nd, 2025. Maybe the question is, when everything is online, how do we decide what is real? And she has to provide evidence, you know. I don't think everyone is gonna believe her 100% ever. Like, I don't believe her 100%. I'm having my doubts. So there's that. That is it. That is all for this episode. What do you guys think? If you liked it, remember to leave a comment and share your opinion. And besides, what do you guys think of this case? Was it real or just another stunt to boost Amaranth's fame? Because there's definitely that, you know, that factor. There's definitely that possibility that she paid them off. Like, yeah, the robbery was real as in like, oh, the home invasion was real, they are real, they were really violent, like the violence was real, but were they hired or not? Because there are people, I know it's crazy, I know it sounds crazy, but as crazy as it is, there are people out there who would be willing to commit crime for, like, to go to prison for a couple of years. By the way, these are teenagers, so they're gonna go to juvenile prison probably. But there are people who are willing to do this for a payout, a payday, you know? I don't know, it's definitely weird to me. Kuro, yeah, I agree. Like, it's definitely, some aspects of this situation are definitely strange. And I would not be, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out that, hey, they actually paid them. Like, think about it. If they promised them like $1 million, because they can afford it. I'm just speculating. This is just speculation. I don't have any proof. This is just allegedly speculation, but you know, maybe they offered them a couple $100,000 or $1 million. Where else are they gonna get that kind of money for, I don't know, a couple of years in juvenile prison? I don't know. Also, Bacon, thank you so much. Bacon says, if it's real, then thank fuck dude had a gun to fight back. If it's fake, what the fuck is wrong with people? Angry Sona. Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with... No, I wouldn't see, like, it's crazy that if this situation was fake, if it was staged, it's crazy that people are willing to go to this degree, you know, like to do this, to stage things to this, like this degree, dangerous degree. And it's really crazy where social media like brought us, if it's fake. If it's real, obviously, I hope that Amaranth is okay and she's gonna recover from her injuries and you know, like everything else is fine with her and with Nick and with their house. I hope that she's gonna be safe. But if it's fake, if it turns out to be fake, like I don't know, I rest my case. Yeah. But that's just my speculation. Wait, like I'm gonna oh, Danny says staged or they were definitely hired. My speculation is that they were hired by Nick, the husband. Yeah, there's a possibility, right? Like if Nick was so controlling of her content and her finances and everything else, like back in 2022, who's to say that she might have not known about any of it, right? Like maybe she didn't know of any of it and he staged it. Like he paid them off, he hired them. And he told them like, oh, you know, I don't know, somehow they staged it, maybe. I don't know, like there are just some red flags in this entire situation. And it's just really hard for me to believe her 100% because of her past. Yes, because of her past, because of her past with her husband, because of her husband's past behavior. You know, it's very difficult to trust someone like that if you know what they did in the past. But if it's true, then I hope she recovers and I hope they're gonna be safe from now on. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Just a reminder, there are still some FEARSONA and waifu wears shakers. We are running out though, so they're gonna be sold out soon. You can go to the description of this video. There's a link and there's a code FEARSONA for 20% off if you wanna grab one for yourself. Aside from that, I'm gonna be working this week. Like I'll take Tuesday and Wednesday off. So I'm gonna be back on Wednesday, actually, Wednesday evening. So there's not gonna be a stream until Wednesday evening. Also, Carolyn, thank you so much for the super, another super, deja vu. I'm getting chill as art parasocial game. Jesus. Oh yeah, I played that. I think I played that, but it gives me motion sickness, so can't play it for a long time. Anyway, I'll be taking 2 days off, so I'll be back on Wednesday evening to work on the community server, because we have a Project Zomboid community server, but for some reason the hosting service is not working. I have to fix it, so I have to work on that, and I have to work on a couple of other things behind the scenes. Just a reminder, there's a new wallpaper on my Patreon if you want to check it out. the wallpaper is a secret wallpaper with my new design. So if you're curious, you can go check it out. Join Patreon if you want some bonus streams, bonus cases. There's so much. Like if you want to find out about other cases that I didn't cover on YouTube, they are all in the archive on my Patreon. And yes, there are bonus cases. So you can, you know, if you want to spend more time with me every week, you can tune in to Patreon streams. That's it. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm gonna try to recover in those 2 days. I'm gonna try to get my health in check, just, you know, sort it out, recover from my cold, and maybe fix my tooth. I don't know, because half of my face hurts. Great. Backsona, thanks for another great stream. Thank you so much, you guys, for taking the time out of your day to join me, to sit through this case with me and share your opinion. But yeah, please let me know in the comments, do you believe Amaranth? Do you believe that this was a real situation, or do you think there's something sus about it? Stay safe out there. Always lock your doors and windows. Bury your hexes. Until the next time. Bye. Joshua, thank you so much for the last super. Bye. I have jury duty. Any tips? Just don't be sus. I don't know. I never had jury duty is not a thing in Poland, so I don't know. I can't give you any advice. Just go. Don't be sus. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. That's it. Also, Danny, thank you so much. Thanks for the stream, Sona. Hope your cold gets better soon. Thank you. Also, whales cannot swim backwards. That's, you know, a lot. I think a lot of like sea mammals can't swim backwards, but whales can't actually do they can't actually swim backwards. So there's that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.